Hey, welcome everybody to BigGunner81 Live, presented by Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks. The range of 355, which we got Pete Negro in the house tonight with us. Eggleston Munitions, BAT Arms, Spin to Precision, and Renegade Ammunition, which got here in the house with us as well tonight. A couple things before we get rolling with the show and in our open discussion tonight. I want to give a shout out to our friend Tim Ubel from TechCom. Go to TechCom 3G to check out some of the products he sells and manufactures and so forth. It's his birthday today, so congrats. Happy birthday, Tim. Also, our friend Sam over at Spin to Precision, he has been in the hospital, so I want to kind of mention that and say I hope he feels better and everything as well. And anyhow, so tonight, don't have a whole lot of topics to go ahead and discuss, but one of the real hot topics, and I kind of touched on it last week a little bit, and I kind of typically refrain from getting into any of the negative stuff in the gun world and so forth, but there's an instructor that's out here in North Carolina. We've seen a lot of the videos plastered on Facebook and social media recently showing him stabbing targets and shooting out the ceiling, and the most recent one I saw was one where he actually ended up shooting the lights out at a range with an AR, nonetheless. I know we got Thomas Kroll in the house tonight with us, so welcome, Thomas.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, Thomas. Awesome.
And I know you happen to be a firearms instructor yourself too, as well.
Yeah.
So we can offer some insight on that. And we got Corey as well. Welcome, Corey.
Hey, guys. How's it going again?
Good, good. And I got Pete with Range 35. How's it going, Pete?
Love guys shooting the ceilings at our place. Can't get enough of it.
I know that's sarcasm. But.
I think I'm definitely going to have to put my mark up there on the ceiling sometime.
Oh, thanks, man.
And we got Dave from Renegade Ammunition. And hey, Dave, I don't know if you're still muted or not.
No, I'm still here. I'm just being a weirdo.
Gotcha. So, anyhow, yeah, one of the thoughts about that too, as far as the training aspect, and I keep knocking over my guns here, is that think about this: if he's shooting at the ceiling, what if he was training outdoors? I guess at least in a range, I know Pete, you can kind of chime on this because it's you have your own hands-on experience with it as far as how the range is built and everything. Where else can you practice something like that? And now, of course, would you want to be practicing like that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's one of the reasons. I mean, you got to take the lowest common denominator, which Mr. Lucian Black is the lowest common denominator. So that's one of the reasons we don't allow people to draw out of the holsters, because we don't want to get anybody hurt. And
right,
we've got a lot of new shooters, which I'm happy to see. But you just got people that probably watch a little bit too much YouTube and don't have proper instruction on what they're doing. And this guy's got he's got no idea of point of aim, point of impact when he's doing his training. And when I watched him, after engaging first of all, after I thought he was going to shoot through his shirt on the video. But then when he finally gets it out, he gets the first round or two, whatever it is, and then cants his gun up. All I could think of was thinking of our range, what's above. I mean, there's steel up there, but still, we'd like to see the rounds going down range.
Yeah, they actually said he was stripped of his credentials as well, which I think he should be the way what he's doing. And of course, I think in his mind, I can't speak for him, but just from bits and pieces of things I've read and seen, it seems like, and this is an opinion, that he thinks that he's being somehow, what's the word I'm looking for, like inventive with his techniques, I guess.
And that's the problem. So many people try to be innovative. And
innovative, yes.
They look past the basic fundamentals of handgun skills. And so here this guy is trying to be this quick, really innovative guy when he should learn how to do a holster draw from underneath a shirt, which he hasn't figured that out. Sorry to get a little bit passionate about this.
No, I understand. As a range owner, you're looking at, probably number one, safety of your patrons, and also looking at the, not having your equipment destroyed, basically.
Well, and not only that, I look back at my law enforcement career where we're moving with hot weapons all the time, and you're going to cross a muzzle. You have to. So people have to be safe. And this guy's got no clue whatsoever how to be safe.
Right on. So Thomas, what are some of your thoughts on this?
I try not to get too involved in hearsay, but I actually have a small piece of personal experience with the guy. He came into one of the Illinois Facebook groups that I moderate. Said he's in Chicago and he's doing some training, so on and so forth, posted a video. His video was not very good. Someone called him out on it, and his first thing was to start swearing and cursing. That's obviously, if that's your only defense is to start throwing names, and when someone calls you out on your bullshit, then you have nothing to stand on. You have no foundation. I try not to get too involved, like I said, with especially the internet politics and throwing mud at other instructors. But I'll tell you what, everyone has mistakes. He seems to have a lot of them. What I don't understand is why somebody would put all of those mistakes online. It's one thing to put your mistakes online and say, hey, you know what? Here's a mistake that I made and you can learn from this. That's good. That's noble. To put your mistakes online and as if it's an instructional video, as if there's nothing wrong with it, if you haven't reviewed and proofread, so to speak, that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, agreed.
He's being innovative by showing the way he does things. Maybe he thinks it's the correct. I can't speak for him, but maybe he thinks he's the right thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thought. Why else would he be putting it out there unless he's being satirical in some way? But it doesn't seem like it. I was just looking to see if I can find that clip of him actually shooting the ceiling. Not shooting the ceiling, shooting the lights out with his AR. He had a really bright muzzle flash, and he's just going left, right, up, down, crouching, shooting sideways, and it's like it looks like he's shooting at everything but his target in front of him, and just maneuvering himself around in a square booth, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And and just shoots out the lights. And the lady that's in the bay next to him, I'm just kind of describing this, and I wish I had the clip up to show you all. She looks like kind of concerned, and then she ends up kind of leaving the frame of the video. So I think she was probably walking out maybe to kind of get away from what the hell he was doing.
Well, I tell you what, it's idiots like this that make the average law-abiding citizen want to purchase a plate carrier. Someone may say, "Hey, what do you need that for? What do you need a plate carrier for?" Well, have you ever been to a range? Crap like this goes on, unfortunately, and it might not be a bad idea if you're going to public ranges to have some kind of body armor.
So do you do that as an instructor? Do you wear any body armor?
Yeah, I started wearing, I've got a level 3A from Spartan Armor. It's an AR-650 plate carrier, front, back, and side plates.
Okay. Because, I've heard different stories here and there about different things with instructors and students. And, I imagine as an instructor that's taking on students that you have never met before, and you're putting firearms in their hands, that can be kind of concerning, Because you don't always know who
in
you're
a concealed carry qualification class where I'm standing behind them the whole time, it's not as big a deal. When you get into the dynamic classes, defensive pistol, when you're, maybe RSOing something where you're doing a little bit of run and gun, that's when the mistakes really can happen. It's not often that you see guys like Voda doing what he does. On the range, most RSOs would have them kicked out in a minute. As soon as you start doing draws from the holsters, and the RSO sees that, you're going to be asked to leave. But you're right. You've got students you're working with you've never worked with before. You don't know what their level of ability is. You're trying to get them up, of course, but it only takes one sneeze, one hiccup to put you down.
Well, there's two things you mentioned there too. I'll comment on. So one, the competition thing about mistakes happening. There was a post recently I just read, I think today or yesterday, about a shooter that ended up shooting himself. forget what the exact. I think he was in Canada, actually, believe it or not. And from my understanding, I think he shot himself in the abdomen with his pistol. Either he was drawing it or something happened. I'm not really sure what the circumstances was, but he was in the middle of shooting a stage and accidentally shot himself. And then he went to the hospital and he later died.
Wow.
That's pretty tragic. But it's something kind of keep, it's like a lot of different sports that are out there, you go ATVing or jet skiing, there's always a risk of getting injured or either a serious injury or a minor injury, or it could be a fatal injury. And shooting is the same way. Obviously, you have to respect your equipment that you're using and, handle it properly to help avoid that. But there's always a risk with anything that you do, whether it's shooting or it's some other sport. But the second thing I was going to mention as far as the RSOs and getting kicked out, as you said, Thomas, from my memory of what I saw online and was reading through about the story with him at Blackstone, I think Blackstone, the response is that Blackstone shooter actually in Charlotte, in North Carolina here, and that was actually the range that he was stabbing and shooting the ceiling and whatnot. In the video, you can see the RSO or range officer, in the background. And I guess shortly after this occurred, they asked him to leave, basically. It's something to that effect. And now he's banned from that range, of course. Of course, a lot of people out there were commenting on Facebook that, we don't feel safe going here if you allow this kind of stuff, whatever. And, which makes sense. Obviously, we all go to the range to go and practice our skills and marksmanship, and we want to do that in a safe manner, and we don't want anybody to get hurt doing it. And it was totally unsafe and just not a good technique at all. So anyhow, I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to that whole story. I may move on to something else a little bit.
I mean, just for me being a regular American and concealed carrier, that's the kind of things that. I mean, I'm not saying that the dude's a bad dude or anything, but the way, because it's been brought up in news and we're seeing what he's doing. I mean, those are the kind of things that really just make you concerned. I mean, and it's not to the point where you're concerned because you don't carry. It's a concern that you should carry, because if there was an adamant threat and you've got that guy backing you up, what are the chances you're really going to make it out of there A-okay if he's doing with what he's been doing?
Yeah.
Because really, the way you can look at it is he's also kind of a threat, and I don't think he means to be,
Right. He's not like one of those people that's trying to harm you, but his actions could harm you.
Yeah.
Hey, fratricide's just as dead as, from a bad guy.
Yeah.
And you're right, Corey.
I think that, how good are his credentials? Like, where did he get his training? Maybe it was one of them stupid little training classes that you get online. You pay $25 and you get, do we actually know his certification and things like that? I'm sure we do, but.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't researched enough about him, and I'm not trying to talk, crap, I guess, but I'm just looking at what you see on a video.
Yeah.
What the range's response was to what they saw at the range that he was attending, at least the one that he was stabbing and shooting the ceiling, and so forth. But
his draws from what he did when he was trying to train people. They had what is it called? They had like a hit button on like however many negative feedbacks that they saw in his video, and it was just one after another.
Well, how about them pointing guns at each other?
That's
the video.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, you can see pictures and video of him pointing guns at his students, and that's just ridiculous. And actually, he lost his NRA certification for that probably about 2 years ago. I think Bearing Arms did a post about that. I think it was in like 2015. That's when I first became aware of this guy. Then I thought he went away, didn't hear anything of him, and then all of a sudden, recently in the last few months, you've been seeing his name again.
Yeah, actually, there's a couple different things in the Bearing Arms article. It says A.K. Therivel Black, A.K. Michael Therivel, which appears to be
AKA the Angel of Death.
Yeah,
The Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper Junior.
So,
I mean, this guy is. I don't think that we should label him a threat because it doesn't look like what he's. He's out there trying to help, but I think his training is very, very
innovative.
He's very and very undereducated. Obviously, he didn't learn the right way, and he's not doing the right stuff, and he's making it unsafe not only for himself but others that are getting training and that he's practicing with. And definitely a scary situation if something ever happened. That was the dude that you were supposed to have a be safe partner with. So
right. And speaking of a firearms training and safety and so forth, there's a little article that Laura actually sent me just earlier, a little while ago, about a father that was charged in an accidental shooting of his daughter. He was teaching his two kids. I don't know if you heard about this. It was on WGN 9 in Chicago. They're actually out of Indiana. That's a story for sure.
Horrible.
I don't. Again, he pointed the gun at his daughter, didn't think it was loaded, and somehow pulled the trigger. That just doesn't make sense. When you're doing firearm safety.
It's so avoidable. I can't imagine the pain the father's going through. I have 2 kids myself, but it's avoidable. It's you've got to break 3 rules to make something so stupid like that happen. And obviously he broke all 3. I mean, don't point the firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger, and it can't go bang. Keep it unloaded until you're ready to use. I mean, it seems simple, but these negligent discharges happen way too often, and when kids are getting hurt, man, it's heavy.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's easy to get complacent for some people too. Firearms, get comfortable with them, and you're always handling them, and okay, it's unloaded. You know what the unloaded firearm is going to do? Nothing, right? All it takes is that one time to make that mistake.
Only takes one.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, there's no taking that back and putting it back in the barrel, and we can't reverse that. So it's just you have to be careful and practice the safety with it. And do those every time. So anyhow, one of the things I was going to mention too, I'm working on a video on this actually for what I call the 50 States of 1022. I'm going to show off this rifle build I just completed. Some pictures along the way of building this, and I posted some up on Instagram as well. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to test it out and actually put some rounds through it.
What kind of barrel is that, Rick?
Is a Tactical Solutions or Taxol. They're based out of Idaho. Barrel, and it has a steel liner that's pressed inside of it that the actual rifling and everything is in. So it's kind of like a real thin steel barrel with aluminum, but it's pressed in there. It's also threaded. I was kind of undoing the cap to kind of show you just a cover or thread protector rather. On it if you want to, or you can put a compensator. One of the unique things about this rifle too is unique, but one of the different things over a regular factory Ruger 1022 is that's left side charging. So for those of us that are right-handed, you can keep your hand on the grip and still cycle the action and so forth. This receiver is made by Tactical Innovations, also out of Idaho. And the bolt also came with that upper, or I keep on saying upper because I'm used to the AR-15 world. But the receiver came with a match grade bolt that looks to be like nitride coated possibly. And then we have CA chassis that the receiver is sitting into, and the trigger pack is actually a 2-mini trigger pack, Hogue grip, and a ATI tack light stock on here. ATI stock's out of Michigan. And Hogue is actually in Nevada and I think also California. I think some other manufacturing is in California, and so forth. But it's pretty cool. One of the things I was thinking about too is this chassis, the PMAC chassis. This is the lightweight version. They have one that's a little bit longer. They give you 2 different rails with this chassis. One that's a little bit longer. you could put like a vertical grip right here or an angle foregrip or something on the front of it, and I thought about that. Also thought about just resting my hand against the mag and so forth, but we'll see. It's very lightweight. I gotta get this thing scaled so you can really see how light this thing is, because you would think with such a large barrel, and this is a .920, and like for kind of put that in perspective, most AR-15 gas blocks, they're basically .750, which is a little bit smaller. So this barrel is considered like a bull barrel. It's a little bit larger diameter, and so forth. But yeah, it's a pretty nice rifle. I can't wait to go get that out and go shoot with it. I know the other one I got sitting next to me here, I've showed this off quite a bit recently. My 9mm, it's quarter circle 10 upper and lower on this build, but the Trijicon MRO that we're testing out, that's on here. It's the range of this thing. I can't wait to test it out. I'm excited about it, but haven't had a chance to get there. This weekend didn't happen, so hopefully maybe this weekend, but I don't know if that's going to be the case either. So it might be a couple weeks before I get to actually get out and run it. So the projects I have going on right now and everything, and I see David working on something there in the background.
I've been enjoying watching the work there.
What's he do? He's polishing, it looks like.
I think he's doing
some reloading or something. I don't know.
Had a little, hey, David, a little soldering action before.
I think.
Yeah, see what
I think he's working on those pins.
Gunfighting.
Sorry about that. I got distracted by Matt from Russian Roulette Clothing sent me something. A response back. I noticed his picture on Facebook has the person we were talking about at the intro of the show, at the beginning of the show here.
In the knife fighting, and his grip is so.
Sorry, I'm watching this.
I'm gonna try to do his tactics a little bit better.
Seeing what my friend Will sent me. So this is for tonight's podcast.
And I decided to choose a range that has no lights, so that I don't have to worry about taking out any.
Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it.
So we're gonna go ahead and do his tactic. I'm doing it from the low ready because I don't have holsters like him. He's cool. I'm not. I'm just a regular Joe Doe guy. So here we go.
Joe Doe guy. He's doing a whole spherical thing.
Did he throw his gun at
it? That's hilarious.
That's what
thanks for saying that, Will. Will is actually from American Tactical Concepts out of Ohio, which we're working on wrapping up the Ohio rifle build here pretty soon. A couple other components for it: the buffer tube assembly, charging handle, and I think a gas tube. And of course, we got to find some of sights or optic to toss on it. Doing testing, but that one's up next probably for the 50 States project, is the Ohio rifle, and so forth. And I know when I get to Michigan, David is all excited about that one because we talked already before about it. And it's going on something he's polishing.
All right, I had to unmute me. I heard you say Michigan rifle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was just mentioning that, I know you get excited about that one when we finally get to that build.
Boy.
So,
It's going to be an awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to put the Renegade ammo logo on that one, too.
Like I said, I'm game for it. We talked about sponsoring the ammunition for the builds and stuff, and I'm good with that. So,
yeah, that'd be awesome. Very cool. And I just noticed Corey disappeared on us.
sorry.
So, Pete, what do you have going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, just, this is the little dip, our little shoulder season here when things get warm. I just did my little trip out to Utah to recertify my Utah concealed carry. That was more of a hang out with the boys trip than do the recert, but nice to see in the industry right now there's a little bit of stability. So some of the shortages on some of the guns that we were all waiting for some of the ammo shortages, some of that stuff, hitting a little equilibrium, which is good for everybody. And now as a gun store and gun range owner, we're, you know, business was certainly better last year as we led up to the election, but those crazy spikes when we had these catalyst events, at least there's stability. It's better right now for all of us that love guns and love shooting. When
22 ammo was really scarce and everything, you guys stocked up enough on it that it didn't really seem to affect you.
No, we you know, we gave our main rep an unlimited budget on 22 ammo, and we made it through all that. You know, right. We all remember those days when somebody would say, "Hey, Cabela's has unlimited 22 ammo," or Bass Pro has unlimited 22, or somebody's gun store. And, you know, we were all trekking over there to grab as much as we could. And now it's really nice to see in the industry that we're getting pretty close to equilibrium. A lot of the new guns, you know, the SIG P320 X5, the H&K VP9SK, let's see, some of the others, you know, they're trickling in. We're still not seeing a plentiful supply of that stuff. We got an X5 in today. It lasted 20 minutes in the store. Oh, man.
Yeah, I would love to have that.
Yeah, as soon as we put it out, and 20 minutes later, guy was buying it. So there's still some good stuff going on, but it's kind of cool now, like I say, to see a little closer to equilibrium. Best for the consumer.
Yeah, exactly. We're now searching around for something and settling for something that we don't necessarily want.
Exactly. And Corey, I want to thank you for flying the colors tonight, brother.
What do I do? Yeah, that's right.
Just reading some of the comments over here. So I know, Dave, you're running another giveaway this week. Last week, would you end up picking a winner last week?
One more time, Rick.
I was saying, did you end up picking a winner for that last week's show or no?
And I posted it on Renegade Instagram.
Okay, cool. And you were running that tonight. Are you going to announce the winner tonight this time? Because I know last week it was kind of like screwed up a little bit. We were able to get somebody.
I think we're going to do one of these tonight, and I'm making up some pens. I'm actually making pens right now because I got an order in the morning that's got to go out, and I've been doing this all day, gone day. But yeah, we'll have Corey pick a winner off of the comments on your
YouTube.
Yeah, on your YouTube, yes.
So Corey, are you monitoring that too? So everybody who's out there watching,
I am
commenting. Good.
I am.
Good. We'll leave it up to you guys.
I'm split screen.
Nice.
I haven't even looked.
So yeah,
who have all commented.
And I appreciate that too, David. That your your generosity with helping support the channel and to help get everything out there.
I try.
No, that's cool. You know what they say about trying though? It's the first step to failure.
Yes, I've failed many times, and I've learned lots of great mistakes.
You know what? I used to have somebody used to say to me, a friend of mine I used to work with, and I always tell him, yeah, but trying is also the first step to success too. So it was always a banter back and forth. But
hey, definitely got some cool names up here. The Baconator, the Baconator and Tactical 506. Those are both awesome.
Don't let Baconator fool you. He's a stalker.
Yeah. He just wants a pen, right?
He just won one of these coffee cups. Actually, matter of fact, I did a live feed and we had like 36 people on and off throughout this 20 or 30-minute live feed. And at the end of the live feed, we got a coffee cup. So you got to watch the win.
He needs 2 coffee cups, one for each hand now.
Hey, you can double fist it.
Oh, God.
Got to have the coffee, you know?
Yes, sir.
He's Dave Stalker. Nice.
Well, hey, Dave, when you got cool swag, you got to expect it.
I try to do my best with it. You know, and the best thing with social media, and I'll bring up John Bartello, for instance. He's a great guy. I talked to him on the phone, and he gave me a little insight, and he said, give free stuff away, you will get followers instantly. And he's right.
Yeah, it's true. It does help. You know, then you also have your audience trained to give them that they're expecting free stuff all the time too. Then, but
and you gotta make them earn for it. So like I'm doing ammunition right now, and I figured comments, which isn't really hard to get on Instagram with the amount of people that follow me. I mean, like I got people that follow me roughly, which isn't a lot, but to get 500 comments or tags or reposts all combined, that's not a lot. So we're doing an ammunition giveaway, but we haven't hit the quota yet on it. It's been about, I don't know, a week or so, I think.
Okay. What's the biggest giveaway you've done so far?
You know, the ammunition's probably the biggest one that I've done so far. I've done some for like Falcon 3.7's products and things like that, and I pay for all that. They don't promote it. I pay for it to promote the channel. The next one's probably going to be that Trigicon if we don't have to send it back. Right. That'll top the icing on it, and then you know I'll do some other cool stuff. I got some rails sitting here and some upper receivers, but we got to build the channel up. So
right, exactly. The more and the back side of this whole thing is it's marketing. It helps you sell your products, and the more you can sell your products, the more you can give away things to people that you're giving back to your customer base. In a sense, and also helping to promote what you do. That's kind of a cool concept to that. You know, it's kind of a two-way street in a sense.
And it is. So. And did I talk to you about the I'm looking at forming out?
What I mean, the group that you're talking about? I think we were talking about off air. I think.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it off air. You want me to bring it up on air or no?
Talk a little about it, that's fine.
All right. So with all the veteran community and the efforts and stuff, and there's so many of these different groups and organizations all over the place, and some of them are free, some of them in charge. And I came up with the theory of being part of a number of them over the last couple years. Why not have a free one? A free directory for businesses and supporting businesses and veterans and families of veterans and organizations and everybody as a whole, because that's what veterans are. They're a brotherhood. And to make that readily available to the general public, so not only can we but we can find people the assistance they need or direct them in the path they need to find that assistance for families or veterans in whole. And I don't want to limit to the veteran community. I want to make it a larger outreach, but somewhat more of a vetted outreach than just in and do this and do that. So it's still a process in the making, and there's other ones out there that I've been part of that I'm using bits and pieces of to build it out, and I have a good foundation to start off of with companies and organizations wanting to jump in on it. But we're keeping it semi under wraps right now. We have the small Facebook group that we just started called the Brotherhood of Veteran-Owned Business. It'll be built out eventually in the application process, but we're going to make it so it's 100% free instead of charging people.
So will this have like a website with a kind of like a directory of the different companies that are out there that are veteran-owned?
So kind of. So most people have heard of the Veteran-Owned Business Directory, the VSOB. Anybody can list on that. What it doesn't do is it vets them as veterans, which is great. But it doesn't vet them as, do they offer discounted services for veterans? Do they have different resources available in the community? It's just, hey, I'm a veteran, I own a business. and here's my free little post. They don't do any marketing. They don't do any advertising. They just have a directory. We're going to take it that step further. The marketing, the directory, everything that's involved with that for a free cost, 10. So, it costs money to do everything. And I'm going to use money from Renegade Ammunition and roll it into this because Renegade Ammunition really solely doesn't make anything because we give a majority of everything we make back anyways.
Right.
It's really hard to run it as a 501 nonprofit. This more or less. Now I do keep profits, but in general terms.
No, that's pretty cool. So you donate a lot of stuff to what you do to veterans, and also you do a lot of giveaways and things too, as well, for the shooting community.
You broke up on me a little bit.
I was just saying you actually do contribute like to veterans and so forth and veteran organizations.
As Renegade Ammunition right now, yeah. So we've been doing that for a number of years.
Okay, cool. And then also, I know, of course, some of your profits get put back in the shooting community with the giveaways and things that you've been doing.
So the profits that I keep for the business go into stuff like this that we give away.
Right.
Very small. Actually, last year I didn't keep anything. I didn't make anything. Actually, it was in the hole last year. So the year before, really, we're just kind of getting everything started. It's been like a 5-year in the process making. So first year of the retail side, everything before that was all business side of things. Nobody ever seen the retail side of it. I didn't really have the Facebook or the website. It was all business to business.
Sure.
2 years ago, our biggest donation, we did the NBA Hoops for Troops at the Palace Auburn Hills in Michigan. We sent 72 veterans and then 72 of their friends games throughout the whole year. So we literally bought like season passes, and they have a nice setup. It's called the Hoops for Troops. And then I'd have to go through my list and see. I post a lot of people to go look at. So
that's pretty cool. No, that's definitely neat that you do a lot of that stuff. You're not really making a huge amount of money for yourself, but you're helping out a lot of different people by doing that. Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
That is cool. So, what else we got for topics of discussion for tonight? I know I didn't have a whole lot prepared for this evening. I don't know, Pete, if you've got anything from the range. I know you were out for a little while down in Utah, but
October 7th is our next match at our next 2-gun run match, October 7th. And we're going to, as we always say, we're going to try to amp it up, take it to the next level. I think, we talked a lot about the prize table, how good it was before. We expect to make it even better, and there's going to be some changes, so stay tuned.
So you had, if I remember right, you guys had for the prizes like 5 guns that got given away, correct?
Boy, main prize was tactical edge arms rifle.
There's 2 Rock River arms, right?
2 Rock River carbines, 9mm carbines. That was kind of a fun. The side match was kind of cool. There was a Glock pistol, a Springfield Armory pistol. I'm drawing a blank on the other ARs and stuff, but yeah, we gave away probably 7 or 8 guns.
Wow.
Membership to the range.
So that's like, how many shooters did you have that event again?
I think we had over 50. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere close to 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that means that almost 1 in every 10 people probably walked away with a gun.
Well, and our second place finisher won the side match, so he won 2.
Okay.
Won an AR and won the 9mm carbine.
If there was, 6 people won guns, that's like, of course it's the top of that group.
Yeah, and there was some really nice BCGs that went out. There were quite a few triggers. There were 3 packs of hex mags.
Nice.
Everybody that showed up got one of Dave's 50 cal bottle openers that were engraved by Will Egbert Jr. and Vulture Equipment Works. Forgot about, how could I forget that? Will also donated, nice. Will also donated a $400 knife to the cause. So there were, Johnny Van's going to be back in October serving up barbecue. We'll have Brian Krieger and Four Roses Bourbon back again. And like I said, we're expecting to amp up the competition. Add some new and innovative stuff as much as you can to an indoor range.
Man, I'm going to have to figure out how to fly out there and go shoot this match.
Yeah, exactly.
October, so I got a little bit of time to get a ticket and so forth to get out there. Since I missed the last
October
one.
7th. Put it on the calendar.
I'm already looking at it.
We'll be getting into that cool weather and should be good.
Oh, man. That's one thing I tell you what I miss. Here it is much more humid, and it's been pretty hot, and it's only just in June.
It's happening here pretty fast, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been 90 the last couple of days.
Okay, so it's probably not too far off. I'm guessing we have a little bit more humidity, but it's a little different climate just slightly, I guess. But definitely looking forward to more of the cooler times. I'm looking at places to go shooting outdoors and so forth out here. And my thought was, man, it's really hot out right now. It's getting hot out. I want this to be like fall, so I can go out and be a little cooler temps and everything. But
yeah, when I was in Utah, there was a brew fest up at Snowbird Ski Resort, right next door to Alta there, and Sunday was their last day of skiing, and today they got about 6 inches of snow. I got a picture from a friend.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. And man, talk about good sleeping weather when in the 40s that night. Here's today up in Alta, Utah.
I see it's very white, so I'm assuming it's all snow.
Yep. So good. October 7th. Put that on the schedule.
So Corey, did we pick a winner yet for that? I don't know if you and Dave were talking about it in the background. So
I have not. I haven't chosen anybody yet, and I'm guessing he wants me to choose somebody over that he sent over. I guess. I don't really know. He didn't really tell me the terms.
I know his signal dropped out, so I don't know where we left off with him, unfortunately. But I know we've got a few people on here and so forth that were commenting tonight. So on your Facebook contacts or not, I'll try to reach out to him real quick and see if he's. I'm assuming his connection got lost, dropped rather.
Oh, there's Dave.
There he is.
I accidentally got this touch screen. I moved my screen and thumbed my X button.
Are you using your phone?
No, I'm on my touchscreen laptop.
Oh, gotcha. We were just asking how you wanted to proceed with the giveaway thing too, because I know we're going to be getting close to 10 o'clock, not too long from now. And
how many people we got commented on there?
I don't know, Corey. You want to take a look at that? You might be doing that already.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Hey, Dave. Baconator said you look amazing. Sean said no squirrel would be safe with Rick's rifle.
Oh yeah, very true.
There's about
to get an optic on it, which
there's about 4 or 5 people.
Which, sorry,
there's about 4 or 5 people.
I didn't mean to talk over the Corey.
No, that's all right. It's my fault. There's about 4 or 5 people that say that Renegade Ammunition sent them. So
should we pick a random number?
Randomly pick somebody.
Okay. You only want to do one person, or?
we're gonna do two. First one gets a pen. Second one gets a cup.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
To make someone's day and make two enemies.
Beautiful. I can't wait to defend myself.
Wait, I thought there was 5 people. So the 5th one doesn't care, or what?
Okay. Let's do. So, do you want these people the ones that you sent over?
I guess we was asking.
DM me off Instagram because that's where they seen the feed at, so they can go right back there and DM me.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Randy Bellware.
Pick wisely.
And I'm going to go with Tactical 506. Woo!
So these are people that are on our chat, basically, that you're looking at, correct?
Yep, and they're the ones that have the hashtag Renegade Ammunition sent me.
Yep, I see Tactical 506. And what was the other one?
Randy Bellware.
Oh, yeah, okay. Gotcha. See Randy on there. Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do so. I appreciate your support. I can also mention, too, as the comments about no squirrel is safe from this rifle. I'm really thinking, and our friends over at Right On Optics, they've got a new reflex, I think, coming out pretty soon next month. I'm anxious to check it out and see it because I'm looking for something like that to put on this and possibly my shotgun as well. So my thought is I really want to try this rifle out with and I'm still learning about some of the competitions that are out there as far as the rimfire world and whatnot. My understanding there's rimfire challenge, I think it's called. I've heard of steel challenge, but I think steel challenge, and I could be wrong, and if you guys can correct me on this, who know about this, that the steel challenge is more like for let's say 9mm regular centerfire type cartridges, I guess the way to put it. Obviously rimfire is going to be like your 22s and whatnot. So I'm assuming that this would be more like a rimfire challenge type setup. From what I've seen other people kind of shooting and stuff like that. But I'm trying to learn about it. So that's a new type of competition for me that I have not tried before. So that's gonna be something new. That'd be kind of cool to get into because it's one of those things that it seems like it's how quickly you can shoot and how accurately you can kind of shoot in a sense, and not based off of going through obstacles and so forth. From what I've seen, it looks like you're standing in a box and you got different targets to engage and so forth. And there's no resetting with that either because it's steel. So I think it might be something kind of fun and simple to try out, just something different than doing 3-gun and whatnot. So once we get that thing tested out and tuned and everything, I'm looking forward to doing that.
Nice. Yeah, I have.
Sorry, Dave.
What was that?
Well, so that sounds fun.
Yeah, and inexpensive too with rimfire costs and ammunition for rimfire. Which
right.
Pete, for an indoor range, this is a question, I guess. Steel, you always think of outdoors because of the whole splatter effect and everything. Could you have a steel type match at your range, being it's indoor range? How would that work?
Yeah, you'd have to use frangible, and even with the frangible, it can jazz up. I mean, the steel would have to be canted perfectly, and
with 22s, for example, like with rimfire,
with 22 steel challenge.
Mm-hmm. Like a rimfire challenge, or what do they call it?
Yeah, you probably could. You got to be really careful indoors with steel because a little, it's aircraft cable that runs the controllers down and forth for the targets. Okay. So a little tiny frag that hits one of those cable fibers.
Cable fibers.
Yeah, can cause us to have to change one of those cables. And those cables, now we could have everything, even if you have the target heads, the carriers, all the way back to the firing line. that cable still loops around. So a little tiny frag, you're talking some of that cable can be $300-400 a spool.
Wow.
So it's pretty expensive. That's why we kind of avoid. I've got a bunch of steel, but I haven't put it inside yet.
Okay.
And I've got a pretty nice stash of 5.56 frangible and 40 cal frangible in my personal stash, but just haven't really taken it out inside there yet.
Good to know.
You making it, Peter, or are you buying it?
The steel? Oh no. Still have friends from my days.
Leftovers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's good to have friends.
It is. Dave, you making frange?
Yeah, I make defensive
frange?
Defensive frangible, yep. Frangible, fragmentable, and standard.
That's good to know. I didn't know you were making frangible stuff.
Yeah,
Do you do that for pistol and rifle both?
Yep. I got a place right there next to Centerfire that manufactures all of the frangible bullets.
Dave, we'll have to talk offline.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Definitely. I'm just thinking too, it'd be kind of fun to be able to do some like high-speed video of that stuff. You know, kind of see how it, what happens when it actually hits the plates and whatnot. But man, those cameras.
Sorry, Rick.
I was saying those cameras are so expensive though.
Okay, I have a video from Centerfire's frangible hitting a steel target. See, they slowed it down, way. I don't know what it's running, 14,000 frames a second or something. Amazing. It's really cool. So.
Awesome.
I'll send it to you.
And Thomas, you got anything interesting with your training classes or anything coming up?
Just the same old with the training classes. Nothing really interesting going on there. I've been working on the Gun Rights for Illinois website. If anyone watching wants to be a contributor, gunrightsforillinois.com. Also, the business directory on the gunrightsforillinois.com website. Anyone who has a firearm business or firearm-friendly business can list their business for free there. So I've been kind of leaning towards that. Nothing new and exciting in the training world, which I guess is a good problem to have. It's plateaued out and getting ready for renewals to happen next year. So that's going to be a big, huge surge.
Hey, Thomas, are you in the northern suburbs?
Yeah, Niles.
Niles, okay.
So you and I spoke once before. I had contacted you. I was trying to set up a free class for disabled veterans.
Yep.
And you were already working with another group, and that was the last time we spoke.
Well, we can talk again about that stuff.
Sure.
I was going to ask you, Thomas, too, as far as I know, you keep your ear to the ground on the Illinois legislation and whatnot. Anything currently going on with that? Because I heard something about, I forgot what it was now.
The licensing bill is pretty much dead. I don't know for sure, but I heard that a bill passed both the House and the Senate that would allow, I believe, don't quote me, I believe it would allow switchblades with a FOID card. And I think that went to the governor for signature. Now, I didn't verify that because I wasn't tracking that particular bill, and someone mentioned it, and I never bothered to look it up, but it seems credible. So now that I opened my big mouth, I think I got to go verify. But that's that's the only bill, pro-gun or anti-gun, to the best of my knowledge, that made it through the through both houses. And like I said, it's on the governor's desk.
Yeah, and we, as far as the Senate Bill 1657, we breathed a temporary sigh of relief. But one thing we've all got to keep in mind, even though Trump is the president and he's a gun-friendly president, we've all got to stay on our toes, especially in states like Illinois. And we're going to form a group right now of in industry, manufacturers, dealers, all that, to kind of help supplement the efforts of a lot of the other organizations like Thomas's, like the ISRA, the NRA. So we're hoping, power in numbers.
Well, I got to tell you, what I'm seeing since the election, since Trump was elected, obviously backed by the NRA, they're not going to be able to get anything major through the anti-gunners. I mean, when I say they. And so now the anti-gunners, really what I've seen in this assembly anyways, is they're pushing really hard on the state and local level, because if they want to get anything passed, that's where they're going to get it passed. So even more so now than ever, Pete said we got to stay on our toes. I mean, we really got to double down on our efforts, because the anti-gunners are pushing their focus and pushing their effort on the state and local level. That means we've got to stay even more vigilant than we were before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Basically, the responsibility to continue to fight for our gun rights never ends.
Yeah, and I think we all breathed a sigh of relief there for a while, thinking we were safe, and we're not.
Never safe. Cost of freedom is eternal vigilance.
That was much better than I was trying to do. I was trying to paraphrase the James Yeager responsibility to continue to prepare for the fight never ends type sign off, but I messed it all up. I'm just not that smooth. So anyway, gonna go ahead and wrap things up tonight. Appreciate you all being on tonight with us and everybody out there watching, and congrats to the two winners of the giveaway from Renegade Ammo. And thanks again, David, for setting up these giveaways and stuff on the channel almost weekly now. That's pretty cool. So I don't know if anyone else has any last final words. Anything? I don't know if you heard me or not.
Email me or DM me off the Instagram, the email address, renegadeammo.com, or jump on Instagram and DM me there.
So I should just change my name to Tactical whatever and send you a message?
Tactical81.
No. Oh, man. Well, yeah, I posted that picture on Instagram, too. Went to a restaurant the other day, and the number on it was like 81. It's very similar to how like the logo is for the channel, whatever. That was kind of funny. But anyway, Pete, if you got anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Pleasure to be on with all of you, and look forward to seeing you next week or whenever, or tomorrow. Who knows?
Likewise. Thanks again, Pete. Appreciate everything, and for being on with us tonight and all that. And Corey, do you have any parting words you want to mention?
Hey man, I'm representing a great gun range right now, a range of 355. I can't wait to be back up there and shooting and hanging out with you again, Pete. I know that the Dave, what is it? The Danny Dietz Memorial Foundation or Axelson Tactical is doing some things at Black Bullet Firearms up in Newcastle, Indiana.
Yeah, it's
go ahead. I'm sorry.
22.com, Axelson Tactical, and then Black
Bullet Firearms.
I know he was kind of breaking
Paper
up.
lock.
Yeah, he's anyway. They're doing some memorial and tribute rifle rafflings and handgun rafflings, and that's July 22nd up in Newcastle, Indiana. So I'm looking forward to getting there and seeing Dave. Hopefully he's able to come there, and guys, just stay safe out there. I mean, even those people that are preaching the good stuff about gun safety and gun training. I mean, as we can see with the guy we talked about earlier at the start, I mean, even though they want to benefit everybody, they can still be of harm and danger to us. So
Yeah, absolutely. Just got to be aware of your surroundings and be as careful as you possibly can. And thanks again, Corey. And Thomas, you got anything else you want to throw out real quick?
No, that's about it.
Cool. Well, thanks for being on. It's good to see you.
My pleasure, as always.
Yeah, very cool. And, of course, let's wrap things up tonight. Appreciate everybody out there watching. And until next time, as always, go out and have some fun shooting. I'll see you next week.